years ago, the library operated a book mobile. As time changed, we entered into the technology age, and the library repurposed the bookmobile and transformed it into a tech mobile. Books are still available on that mobile, but it is designed and equipped with computers and printers. This tech mobile travels throughout the city and is available to schools and organizations. Upon request, the Techmobile will come to sites and provide the training and services that have been requested. This upgrade was sponsored by the Legacy Foundation. This Techmobile is on the board's radar for a major upgrade, especially with the movement to AI. The Makerspace, a dynamic and collaborative learning environment, and known many to others as the STEM Lab. The patrons can engage in hands-on learning experiences, access innovative technology, and empower themselves with new skills. This lab is equipped to access patrons in all areas of 3D printing, sewing activities, poster and card making, and other activities. This makerspace, known as the STEM Lab, engages science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And this is sponsored through Gary U.S. Steel, the Knight Grant, and the Legacy Foundation. In December, the parking lot of the Woodson Library was transformed to provide winter works, or the ice skating, to the community. This event was a first in this community, and over 600 students and families, adults, participated. In addition to family skating, other activities included art projects, exercise sessions, pictures with Santa, and of course, warming up with hot cocoa. This experience was the collective effort of the Gary Arts Council, the library, the city of Gary, and our sponsor, the Legacy Foundation. In June of this month, the community was invited to join the Miller Garden Club at the Woodson Library for the Heirloom Roses Talk and Tour. In addition to the tour, the citizens were introduced to rose-inspired refreshments. The Woodson Library is the home of 140 heirloom roses, which is the largest collection in the Midwest. Over 100 citizens attended these events. This event was sponsored by the Miller Garden Club, Friends of the Library, and the Gary Public Library. Last but not least, in 2025, we kicked off the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. First Lady Maureen Braun read to 25 preschoolers from Woodson's Child Development Center. Mrs. Braun signed and read The Little Engine That Could. She signed the students' individual copies. She was also joined by the sponsors, Dean White, and our Legacy Foundation sponsors. All children who live in the city of Gary, ages 0 to 5 years of age, qualify to participate in this program. Parents go to the website and sign their children up for the program. Once the children are enrolled, the foundation will send a book in the student's name every month. These books are assigned according to age level. Depending on the age of the students can receive 60 books if they participate from 0 to age 5, at no charge to the parent. According to the zip codes identified by the U.S. Postal Service, over 5,000 children ages 0 through 5 qualify to participate in this program in the city of Gary. Unfortunately, going back and looking at the data, only 570 children have enrolled. This program is designed to build early literacy skills. Data also says that a child should generally know between 3,000 and 5,000 spoken words before entering kindergarten. Strong oral language vocabulary is considered one of the best predictors of late literacy success. We want to give our students the tools they need to build early literacy school and become successful, productive citizens. The other stat that data also says that 80% of a child's brain has developed for learning by the time they reach age 3. It is critical that any parent who is listening tonight will go into the website and sign your children up for this important initiative. This is one that is never ending. The only difference that happens that once the child turns 5, of course, because they're entering kindergarten, they are removed from receiving these services. It is imperative that I'm hoping that by the time we reach December, that all 5,000 students who qualify for this program will be enrolled. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr.
I look
Washington.
forward to hearing a uptick in our data. Thank you.
Do we have any questions for Dr. Washington? Did you say the website?
You can go on to the Gary Public Library website. The other thing is because this program is a nationwide one, a parent can go in on their computer and just Google Dolly Parton Imagination Library. It will take them to a web, identify the state, then they ask them for the zip code, and then they can even get on there. This is I guess from 5 countries, and since she initiated this library, she has sent out over 300 million books. So we need to kind of make sure that our children are included in this process. Thank you. Any other questions?
Any other questions? No? Thank you, Dr.
And
Washington.
anyone who needs any additional information, you can call the library and we'll be happy to assist. Thank you.
We're down to special and select. Councilwoman Lee?
Thank you, Madam President. I am so excited. Today, well, actually, next week, beginning June 19th to 27th, it will officially have been 50 years since the historic 1976 Olympic trials, where our own Rhonda Brady Anderson became the youngest person ever, right? Youngest woman? That year, the youngest woman to make the Olympic team. So we are excited to celebrate and to commemorate that with a tribute, with a citation. I was one of Coach Anderson's athletes, so I know her not only as an Olympian and as a record setter, but also as a coach. And just for those who are interested in the details, I had the privilege of competing on the state track, the IHSAA state championship team in 1994, although not a state qualifier. I don't want to confuse anybody. I was slow, but I was on the bus. I was not on the track,
You made it there.
but I was on the bus from 1994 to 1996, and I witnessed firsthand the discipline, the excellence, and the belief that she instilled in all of us every day. And she didn't just teach us about track. She told us to make good grades. She told us to make good money. She told us to pick good men and not to settle in any area of our lives. This is something I don't think I recognized until later, that so many other people and so many other communities only get to experience Olympic greatness on TV. But for us, it pulled up to the track every single day in a little white Indiana American Water Company car. And at only about 5'2", it stood tall on the track, screaming at us. Some of her former athletes are here, so they can attest that it was literally screaming at us to be our personal best. And she taught us that excellence was not something reserved for other people or other places, but that black people originated excellence. And it was achievable right here in Gary, Indiana. And I could tell a bunch of stories, but there's only one that I will in the interest of time. We went to East St. Louis for the Jackie Joyner Kersey relays. And anybody who, at least any woman who ran track in the 90s, Jackie Joyner Kersey was your hero. And in East St. Louis, we got to meet Jackie Joyner Kersey and Gail Devers personally, in person. They were there. And again, something I didn't appreciate until years later, they were literally fangirling over Rhonda Brady Anderson. And in that moment, even though I didn't appreciate it then, I recognized that our hero's hero was our coach. So without any further ado, it is my distinct honor to present this official citation by the Gary Common Council in celebration of the 50th anniversary of Rhonda Brady Anderson making the Olympic team, whereas on June 26, 1976, Gary native Rhonda Brady Anderson achieved a historic milestone by qualifying for the United States Olympic team during the U.S. Olympic track and field trials, and whereas at just 16 years of age, and shortly after completing her junior year at Calumet High School, Mrs. Brady Anderson became the youngest athlete to qualify for the 1976 United States Olympic team, winning her race against more experienced competitors and demonstrating extraordinary talent, discipline, determination, and competitive excellence. And whereas Mrs. Brady Anderson went on to win the 1977 Indiana State High School Championship in the 100-meter hurdles, became a 3-time United States Junior Champion in the hurdles, and established herself as one of Indiana's greatest track and field athletes. And whereas she continues to rank among the fastest athletes in Indiana history, remaining the all-time leader in the 100-meter hurdles and ranking among the state's elite performers in the 100 meters. And whereas Mrs. Brady Anderson proudly competed for the Mayor Hatcher Youth Foundation, carrying the hopes and pride of the city of Gary onto regional, national, and international stages, and after high school went to attend the illustrious Tennessee State University under the legendary coach Ed Temple. And whereas as head coach of the Lew Wallace High School track and field team, she led her athletes to 3 consecutive Indiana High School Athletic Association state championships in 1992, 93, 94, creating one of the most, I would say the most, but there's some Panthers here, creating one of the most successful dynasties in Indiana high school track and field history. And whereas our entire community have shared in the pride of her accomplishments and have helped preserve this story of a remarkable athlete and coach whose achievements deserve continued recognition. Now, therefore, let it be resolved on this day that the Gary Common Council hereby honors and celebrates Rhonda Brady Anderson on the 50th anniversary of her qualification for the 1976 United States Olympic team, and expresses its deepest gratitude for the example she has set for generations of athletes in the city of Gary and beyond. Please help me congratulate Coach Rhonda Brady Anderson.
I'm a little emotional. um, Standing here tonight in the city where I was born and raised is an honor to be recognized here where it all began, with whom it all began, means more than um, I can express. So my story didn't begin on the track. It began at home. And my 91-year-old mother is here with me. And she she was my example um, of excuse me. She's my greatest example of what exemplary work ethic means, and she taught us to do the right thing because it was the right thing to do, and she instilled in us that we could do anything that we put our minds to. Now, my track journey began in 1973, which was a year after Title IX. And as we know, change doesn't happen overnight. So a year after Title IX, opportunities for girls were still very limited. And so if you were a girl and you wanted to compete in athletics, you had to do what you had to do. And for me, that meant competing on the boys' track team. It was my first time running track. I was undefeated. And then a family friend, Arlene Leland, who was the valedictorian of Westside in 1972, was home for the summer from her Ivy League studies, working at the Youth Services Bureau, and she told me and my mother about Mayor Hatcher's Youth Foundation Queen Bee's track team. To say that it was life-changing is an understatement. The track team was created because Mayor Hatcher, being the visionary that he was, knew that if sports was good for people, then it was good for girls too. And so that being on that track team was life-changing. Our coaches were like bonus dads. Councilman Tolliver's dad was part of that group, Carlos Tolliver, and they instilled in us, they told us to go to college and have a career and make a good living so that when we got married, we could do it because we wanted to and not because we had to. They taught us that the will to win was not nearly as important as the will to prepare to win. And me and all of my teammates, all of us who wanted to go to college did so on a track scholarship. And we ran all over the country. We ran in Madison Square Garden and at UCLA and in Arizona and Texas and Florida, and it was life-changing. And most of us did go to college, and many of us were first-generation college graduates. So even with these new opportunities, I almost didn't try out for the Olympic team. 2 weeks before the trials, I competed in a junior national championship, and that was for women 19 and under, and I won for the second consecutive year. And that same weekend, competed at the senior national championships. And I ran a personal best and finished a devastating 5th place. So I told my coach, I'm not trying out for the Olympic team. The junior team is going to Europe for 3 weeks. I'm going with them. I'm not going to the Olympic trials. And he wasn't having it. And so he convinced me to go to the trials. And so 50 years ago in Eugene, Oregon, at 16, I competed against older women, some of them nearly twice my age, and I finished first, becoming the youngest member of the 1976 Olympic team. And to put that in perspective, it would be 40 years before another 16-year-old made the U.S. Olympic team. It's not lost on me that this achievement didn't happen on its own, And so this honor does not belong to me alone. It belongs to my mother, who um, was my biggest fan and supporter and advocate. It belongs to Mayor Hatcher. It belongs to my first coaches, Emmanuel Coley and Wilbur Harlan. It belongs to Willie Williams, legendary coach from Westside, and John Campbell, legendary coach from Roosevelt, who my coaches were smart enough to pick their brains and get advice on how to coach me. And it belongs to many others in this city who supported me and encouraged me. So thank you, Gary Common Council, for this recognition. And I thank God for giving me the village that I needed to accomplish this. Thank you.
Madam President?
Yes.
There's been a request for a full council photo. Is that possible?
Sure.
Can we take a photo, the entire council? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Madam President.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am. Do we have anyone else for special and select? Oh, we would like to acknowledge Councilman Dwight Williams has joined the meeting.
Thank you. I apologize. I got stuck in the traffic. There's still a problem on Maryland from the tornado. I would like to send my condolences and a special prayer out to the family for renowned jazz player. He's in your district, did you? Billy Boston. He recently passed away this week. Billy helped me out with a lot of events. He's a wonderful guy, kind soul. I think his greatest joy was teaching our youth how to play the piano. And he loved the piano that was bought and placed at Ivy Tech in the concert hall. He always bragged about playing that piano. So my condolences, and I don't think the Memorial date has been set yet, but please keep your eye out for that and come out and with the family. Thank you.
Anyone, Councilman Whittington? No? Okay, no one else for special and select? Well, please join the Gary Common Council, the City of Gary, and Black Labor Week, the chapter of Gary, Indiana, for the Juneteenth Remembrance Walk and the Juneteenth celebration. Both will be Friday, June the 19th. We will be meeting at 25th and Broadway, right under the Denise Williams mural. We will have a remembrance walk honoring our Della Grisby figures. The lineup begins at 9:15 a.m. and we'll start at 10 o'clock. And we're going to walk across 25th Avenue, and we're going to go to Roosevelt Pavilion. And then at 11 o'clock, we're going to kick off our Juneteenth celebration. All are welcome to attend. Please bring your friends, your family, your children, your grandchildren. And we look forward to seeing you Friday to celebrate our holiday, Juneteenth. Thank you. this time, we'll have public comment. Um, we asked everyone to keep it to the 2-minute rule. We'll have Councilman Whittington, timing you. The first person we have is Michelle Carpenter, followed by Clara Ford, Brenda Sistrunk, Dawn, there you go, Portia Newsom, and Roberta Overall, in that order. 2 minutes, please state your name and your address. Ms. Carpenter. Yes, sir.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Michelle Carpenter, and I live 43rd and Maryland Street. I'm coming to you because I see a lot of positive things happening in our city. But what I want to ask is, for one, now in the day and age of technology, I'm having a really hard time getting necessary information about what's going on in my city. Sometimes I can catch something on Facebook, and I believe it's under the app that has the Common Council on it. However, some of the information that I get is already after the fact. So I would like for you all to come up with some means, and I don't know what means that is, but everybody's not technical. My mom's not a Facebook person, but she's interested in what goes on in her city. Some of the things I would have liked to have attended had I known before the event actually took place. I'd like to see a little more of the things that are important to the residents where they live. Things like the status of the streets.
Ms. Carpenter, your time is up.
Okay, well, thank you.
Ms. Claire Ford. Clara Ford. No? No Clara Ford? No? Okay. Brenda Sistrunk. Ms. Ford is the one with the white head, baby. She's the one with her.
Hello.
Hi.
This is fine, sir. This is fine. I'm not a public speaker. I'm only here to say something about this trash. That's the only reason why I'm here. My councilman, Mr. Williams, I texted you and you did not respond. Okay? I'm not putting you on the spot, but but we'll talk to you later about that. But I'm 72 plus years of age. I'm not gonna tell you my age. But anyway, that I live on the hill on the east side of Glen Park. I cannot roll that trash can down that hill. If anybody like to come and see where I stay, I will give you the address. I am not a public speaker, and I know my time is up, but that's my issue. I cannot, will not, and won't roll that garbage down that hill. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Dawn?
I won't be long, and I do talk loud. First of all, I don't think the council is responsible for this. So at the end of my little complaint, I want to know how somebody can do what they want to the citizens of Gary without coming through you all for approval. At least I'm speculating. Okay, I'm 82 years old going on 83. I got arthritis in my right shoulder and my knee ain't working. You want me to drag my garbage can from the alley to the front of the street? I already got issues in the alley. I got a neighbor on the corner who takes up 4 parking spaces in front of his house because he don't like using his garage or the alley. So he's parking partly on my property. I had to stop him from blocking my walkway to the street, which is where I'm sure you want me to put my garbage can is on the path to the street. He blocks his own path to the street. He's got 2 cans. I had to talk him into getting the second one because there's too many people in there for 1 can. So he's going to have to put his 2 cans on the corner because he blocks his own path. Okay? So like I said, part of my question is when a department head decides to do something that's going to affect the whole city, don't they come to the mayor or to the council and say, what do you think about this? This is what I want to do. They have that kind of authority that they can send us a note saying you're going to drag them cans to the street and it didn't go before anyone else. Okay, now you got to talk about I'm alone in my house. So that means I'd have to hire a handyman maybe to drag that can back and forth because we don't let that can sit on the curb all week. It's my understanding that people that don't have an alley, they bring the can, and a lot of them have a driveway, which helps. And they drag the can down their driveway to the street once a week. Well, I found out that some of their neighbors, nasty, don't pull that can back. They leave the can on the street all week long. So you starting to make our block look ugly already. And I'm tired of the animals in the alley. The animals going to be in the front now. And that, go ahead, girls, that's my posse. And I'm already in trouble with the animal control. I should say they in trouble with me. We'll discuss that at another time.
Thank you, Ms.
Because,
Dawn.
yeah, one of them here, they got chased by that dogs.
Okay.
Dogs chasing us when we try to put our garbage in the garbage can. My 2 minutes is up, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just want to know who approved it.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair
Good
and the
afternoon.
constituents. I'm
Ms.
Portia Newsom. I reside at 457 Buchanan Street. I too feel the same way. What work in some neighborhoods don't work for all. Downtown Gary, Horseman area, we have alleys. We use our alleys. I never exit my house from the front door. For 55 years, my parents lived in that house. We always used the back. The garage is in the back. The way I understand it, if your garage is in the front, your trash is emptied in the front. But if your garage is in the back, your trash is emptied in the back. It's wrong for GSD to make this ordinance. I got a problem. It's not an ordinance, but curbside order. That's what they call it. It's wrong for them to come without consulting the people. It should have been put to a vote. You should have asked us how we feel about it, to me, and because I too, you know, the GSD that's emptying the trash now, they're awesome. They're doing a great job. Because sometimes I forget to take my can just from the yard to the alley. But my gate is open, and so they come right to the yard, get the can, and empty it. I really, really appreciate that. That's awesome. But for me, when I'm cutting my grass or doing yard work in the front, I know how strenuous it is to pull that can around there and, you know, to continue to clean up. But as she said, I piggyback. The animal's already in the back. I'm cleaning up the alley for my neighbors. Because I don't want to live in no filth. And it's been proven. One lady I talked to today, she didn't even know. She said she's 76 years old, and she has never seen the garbage picked up in the Horseman downtown area. Wait. Let me just say this. It's been proven. It's been proven that it works the way it is. It wasn't broke. It needs to be fixed now. We don't have the equipment. We don't have the resources to do this. to pick it up in the front. So reconsider, revamp, and rethink, and rescind this.
Thank you, Ms. Newsom. Ms. Roberta?
I'm gonna try not to get that buzzer thing, so I have my notes so I can kind of stay straight to the point. So I too strongly oppose the implementation of trash being collected in the front of my house, my block, my neighborhood. There was a flyer that someone showed me. I was not aware of this. And then it has specific instructions on it. It wants us to, it says this 3 feet rule. That won't work on my block. I live on her block. There are many cars. So 3 feet apart from cars, mailboxes, and whatever other objects were on that flyer just does not work on our block. Then there's the elderly, they cannot drag their cans from the back to the front. I mean, unless you're thinking they're going to pay someone to come, then, oh, wait, come back and get it tonight too because it's got to go back in the back. That's just not doable. It just doesn't work for us. So the garbage has always been picked up in the back in our neighborhood. I have spoken to many and they didn't receive the flyer or they would have been here. So I stand here for them as well. We strongly oppose this idea. And like Portia said, please reconsider.
Thank you.
Oh, I am a bird.
That concludes our public comment.
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
is there anyone from the administration here tonight that can address this issue?
Well, it came from the, oh, he said he'll do it later during the,
Okay,
during
all right.
Okay, well, we're done with public comment. Ordinance and resolutions on second reading. We ain't got those. We ain't got nothing. Remember last time?
CPO 2026-19, an ordinance reviewing a special use permit for property located at 1045 Shelby Avenue to be used as a short-term rental property by petitioner Island Times Rental, sponsored by the Gary Zoning Department. You want me to continue?
Yes, please.
CPO 2026-20, an ordinance reviewing a special use permit for property located at 803 to 805 North Warren Street to be used as a short-term rental property by petitioners Mark Adams and Nicole Swan, sponsored by the Gary Zoning Department. CPO 2026-21, an ordinance reviewing a special use permit for property located at 2255 Jennings Street to be used for independent living by petitioner Tia Thompson, sponsored by the Gary Zoning Department. CPO 2026-22, an ordinance reviewing a special use permit for property located at 901 Potawatomi Trail to be used as a short-term rental property by petitioner Ward Investments LLC, sponsored by the Gary Zoning Department. CPO 2026-23, an ordinance reviewing a special use permit for property located at 3150 Richard Gordon Hatcher Boulevard to add the use of compressed natural gas at a gas station, sponsored by the Gary Zoning Department. Petitioner there is Trillium Transportation Fuels, 2929 Allen Parkway, Suite 4100, Houston, Texas. And CPO 2026-24, an ordinance reviewing a use variance for property located at 563 South Lake Street to be used as a veterinary clinic by petitioner Silver Stray Social Incorporated, sponsored by the Gary Zoning Department.
Madam President,
Yes.
I move for passage of the following council pending ordinances on second reading. Council pending ordinance 2026-19-20, -21, -22, -23, and -24 with a Planning and Development Committee hearing scheduled for Tuesday, June 23rd at 6 p.m. with a public hearing scheduled for, 23rd is that Tuesday?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Tuesday, June 23rd at 6 p.m. with a public hearing scheduled for Tuesday, July 7th at 6 p.m.
We're gonna change the meeting from the 7th to the 6th.
Okay.
You got a motion?
Matter of fact, Madam President, can I make a motion
Yes.
to move the meeting. Thank you. Appreciate
So the motion is, yes,
it.
yes.
Madam President, I make a motion to change the meeting from that Tuesday to Monday, July 6th.
Second.
Okay. Roll call?
Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Latham.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Councilman Whittington.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
And President Caldwell.
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
With a vote of 8-0, the motion to change our June 7th meeting to July 7th to July 6th has been approved.
Thank you, Madam President. Continue with a Planning and the Development Committee hearing scheduled for Tuesday, June 23rd, 6 p.m. with a public hearing scheduled for Monday, July 6th at 6 p.m.
Roll call?
Councilman Halliburton. Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Latham.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Councilman Whittington.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
And President Caldwell.
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
With a vote of 8-0, Planning and Development will have a committee meeting scheduled for June the 23rd at 6 p.m. and a public meeting July the 6th at 6 p.m.
CPL 2026-25, an ordinance revising the 2026 special revenue budget to reallocate the Health Department local health maintenance fund, sponsored by Mayor Eddie Melton, City of Gary, Shanika Beck, City Controller. CPO 2026-26, an ordinance revising the 2026 special revenue budget to increase and reallocate the Community Development Supplement Form, sponsored by Mayor Eddie Melton, City of Gary, Shanika Beck, City Controller. CPO 2026-27, an ordinance for the City of Gary, Lake County, Indiana, amending the City of Gary American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, spending plan, and reappropriating previously approved ARPA funds, sponsored by Mayor Eddie Melton, City of Gary, Shanika Beck, City Controller. And CPR 2026-04, a resolution of the Gary City Council choosing a firm to continue negotiations for a guaranteed energy savings contract, sponsored by the Gary Common Council, Mayor Eddie Melton, City of Gary, Mayor Eddie Melton, City of Gary.
Councilman Whittington.
Madam President, can I do all at the same time, please?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Madam President, I move for passage of ordinance and resolution CPO 2026-25, CPO 2026-26, CPO 2026-27, and CPR 2026-04, with committee hearing set on June 23rd at 5:30, with a public hearing set for July 6th.
Roll call? Second. It's been motioned and second that, Ways and Means has a public meeting scheduled for a committee hearing, June the 23rd at 5:30, and a public hearing July the 6th at 6 p.m. Roll call?
Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Latham.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Councilman Whittington.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
And President Caldwell.
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
With a vote of 8-0, Ways and Means will meet June.
CPR 2026-05, a resolution supporting the members of the United Steelworkers Local 7-1 and urging British Petroleum to resume good faith bargaining and end the lockout at the BP Whiting Refinery, sponsored by Mayor Eddie Melton, City of Gary.
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
I move to suspend the rules to pass CPR 2026-05 on all three readings.
Second. It's been motioned and second that CPR 2026-05 pass on all three. Roll call.
Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Latham.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver,
Yes.
Councilman Washington,
Yes.
Councilman Whittington,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
and President Caldwell.
Yes.
Madam President, vote is 8-0.
With a vote of 8-0, CPR 2026-05 passes on all three. Overview? Oh, the rule, I'm sorry, the rule has been suspended. Overview now.
Good evening, Madam
Good evening.
President, esteemed council, Madam Deputy Clerk, Attorney Williams. The resolution in regards to CPR 2026-05 is in reference to, as we have been made aware for many years, for many months, that there's a lockout of the USW workers in regards to BP refinery. Over the last 2 months, we have seen, by way of public information, several different incidents that have occurred, including large fires and or blowouts at the BP refinery, causing what some citizens have stated as concerns for public health and well-being. Having understood that the individuals that are trained and fully equipped at United Steelworkers are capable of continuing to ensure safety and functioning equipment at the BP refinery, we know it is a necessity for them to help operate that facility. But more so, Mayor Melton wanted to make sure that we are united as a city to encourage that they continue negotiations. We understand that the negotiation must happen between that organization and those and the union, but that this is a dire push, that some of those union workers are in fact Gary residents and have reached out to ask for the city of Gary's support in doing so. So this resolution, if the council should pass, would give again the union the ability to take forth to say that we agree that they should continue negotiations in an effort to continue public safety and well-being and not affect those individuals that are also residents of the city. Thank you.
Any questions? Yes, sir.
Gee, that's you're a great thing, because the last time I believe that lockout was for 115 days.
It initially started, but it's of course been continued, and there's been, to our understanding, only again by way of information, we don't have a seat at the table, but there's been no negotiation of ending the lockout. As you know, there was another lockout with another set of union workers that has since it been ended and it reached a negotiation, but this one continues to go on with no hope in sight at this time.
Yes, ma'am.
In addition to this resolution, is there anything else we can do to support the workers?
We believe that once we pass this resolution on to, if passed, we will pass it on to the union, share that information, and of course, as always, Mayor Milton will coordinate with the council leadership should they need our support in showing up out there. We'll coordinate that, or if they would like for any type of support, we've been following their lead just to ensure that we are there as a support, not overstepping our authority either.
Madam President, are they aware, leadership aware that we are considering this resolution tonight?
We have only talked to the union. We made an attempt, but we have not had any conversations with BP.
Okay. No, I mean USW, like.
USW is yes.
Okay. That's it.
Yes.
Thank
No
you.
other questions? Okay. Roll call?
Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Latham.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Councilman Whittington.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
And President Caldwell.
Yes.
Madam President, vote is 8-0.
With a vote of 8-0, CPR 2026-05 passes on all three.
Madam President, is pending ordinances and resolutions on second reading.
Okay. Do we have any reports from city officials?
Yes, good evening, and thank you again, Madam President, for the opportunity to address the floor on behalf of Mayor Milton and the City of Gary. Again, we just thank you for your continued partnership. On today, we had the opportunity to support residents that were continued impacted. We know that many residents were impacted by the storms that occurred on last week. However, one particular large area was still impacted, and as of this morning, was still without power in Wood Lake Village. In great partnership, and thanks to the Gary Common Council and specifically Madam President for coming out and serving. Today, we were able to serve some of the residents, most of the residents of Wood Lake Village, with just a special meal, and understanding that many of them, with multiple days of lack of power, lost all of their, items within their refrigerators. So we coordinated, went out there today, in partnership with also Big Daddy's Barbecue, who wrote in kind a significant amount of food costs. We were able to serve full meals, so these were not just hamburgers, hot dogs. These were full on, multiple entrees as well as sides. We were able to provide trash bags so that residents can take out old food and properly dispose of them, so we can make sure we're getting those out of the homes. Support the management out at Wood Lake Village and any of those surrounding homes that were still without power to help. We're happy to report, thanks to NIPSCO's action, they are now with power, finally. So that's exciting. But it also just speaks to the continued push. Again, we have, as a city, no control over over NIPSCO as a utility, but we do have a partnership, and we will continue to be in communications in regards to just our response to the citizens, knowing that we're there as a city to attend to as many needs as we can. So we went out there providing generators to help charge devices and, light towers where we could, things of that sort, just to make it safe so that those residents and any resident feels the need. With that said, though, we are, if you have not seen the weather, impeding another storm on tomorrow. And so we've done calls as a operations team. Chief Operating Officer is leading those calls to talk about, to make sure we're just, again, always prepared. Last year, when the city of Gary experienced their first EF0 tornado in a while, it taught us a lot, but it also made sure that we were capable of being prepared to respond to citizens. We can't control the weather and Mother Nature, but we can control how we respond to those in need. So again, just thank the Common Council for their partnership and always willing to spur of the moment act, because that's really what it was. It was hey, they're still without power, we have to do something. They're pretty much a large, big area, and they were like, okay, we'll do something. And we appreciate always that willingness to move forward. Also, too, just a couple of other updates we want to make sure we're sharing. We know that City of Gary, actual businesses, offices, our Hudson Campbell, things of that sort, will be closed on Friday in observation of Juneteenth. However, we are encouraging our employees, residents, people passing through or just home for the weekend visiting family to support the leadership of the Gary Common Council and sponsoring our City of Gary Juneteenth event. Starting with the parade, lineup is at 9:18, and we will be there and support and have a great experience this Friday. So we just appreciate the leadership the Common Council has done in leading up that event and coordinating. We know that wasn't easy, and we experienced it with those other events. So we're looking forward to an amazing time on Friday. Also, as we prepare, one of the commitments we made before the council when we asked for appropriation for it was the concrete pad at the Gleason Park Golf Course. They finished all the survey work, and we're hoping to have that pad poured by, if not this week, weather permitting, definitely by next week. So then we can at least open the range for the remaining of the season. So if you haven't been by Gleason Park Golf Course, there's been a lot of work that's been completed. Now, of course, all the pavement is done. All of the lights work around it. If you haven't been by there at nighttime, all the lights are out, are up and working. We are going to be doing some fencing repair replacement, as well as we've cut down a lot of those dead trees out of the area so it can be used. We know some of our school reunions are using that space for reunions. So we're looking forward to just people being able to enjoy another public park area. Another just a update, we are almost done with the finishing the health department that will be now located within inside the Hilton and Campbell, so we can move forward with a full collaboration vision of health and wellness in a different perspective. So we just checked on that project today, and it's moving forward really, really well, and we'll be able to occupy right away. And so we're just happy about that, as well as some of our other projects we will discuss at another time. To move to trash, just want to make sure that I share with the council and the citizens that express concern. As our chief operating officer, Michael Suggs, always tells us, feedback is a gift, and we thank you for coming to share always. It truly is something we appreciate and we value. If you guys did not get all of that information, that's feedback as well. We have to do a better job with that. We'll always own that. What we wanted people to understand is that this move to the front trash was not to cause any harm to anybody. We do have a significant amount of the city that does do front trash at this time, but those that do have alleys, one of the things we did hear citizens say is that our alleys have been long neglected. You drive down them, there's a lot of trash, there's a lot of weeds, there's broken concrete, if there's concrete at all. And so in order for us to begin to repair those alleys so they can be somewhat usable, we have to first start with making sure that we're able to do that without disruption of trash. So the first goal, and as we've expressed, is to do this in a phase of which we are repairing and going through the process. One of the commitments that we will make to the council and to the greater public of Gary is that we will make sure we communicate what that timeline specifically looks like and how does that look in regards to it. Just like when we took on trash at the beginning of the year, it may not be without some needs and changes. Know that we'll always, as an administration, listen, and we'll always make adjustments. We appreciate the comment that the citizen made that we tell the trash people, our trash team, that take pride in your work, and they do. So if they see somebody forgot to get their trash and they can see it and it's full, our goal is to always grab it. So for those that say, oh, I can't get my trash can 3 feet away from my mailbox or a car, if we see it, if we have to go around the car, that's our job as a city, and we've already made that commitment to do so. And so we're going to continue to try to work through that. We just ask that you continue to feel free to share us any feedback, but also to work with us as we try to also fix another long-standing issue. We've heard it very clear. Several people from Glen Park have said, hey, I can't even drive down my alley. And so we are trying to make sure we're making those repairs as best as we can so that we can at least make them usable at some point. So again, I say all of that to say that we will work towards trying to work through this. We ask you to be patient and understanding with the situation. And if we have to make any changes, as always, even we made at the beginning of the year when we took on trash, we feel very confident that it will get to a place that we feel it can work for all citizens. Any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for the update, Chief. Also in the first district, we have some residents where the topography just does not support curbside pickup. So I'm wondering, what is the best way to report some of those nuanced cases to you? There isn't a specific option in 311.
No, it's not. But if you get that information, of course, they can always still call 219-881-1311 and share that information. You can also call GSD at 219-944. I'll get the information, but it's the GSD main line. They'll also take that information, but we know that the council gets calls, and so Chief of Staff Brooks also shares those concerns with us, and we try to address them as well as we work through them. So yeah, if you have a specific area you need to go relook at and touch or change or work with that resident, that's our goal. Everybody's trash will be picked up. That's our commitment. That's always been our commitment since we started this process, and I believe that from January to now we've done a significant improvement of making sure we can make that commitment.
I also, very quickly, just want to personally and publicly thank the mayor's office, the city, Gary, everyone who participated in the outreach to Woodlake Village on today. And yesterday, our Calumet Township trustee who set up camp out at Woodlake Village. I was there yesterday, and the residents were just grateful that people came to see about them. So thank you guys so much for stepping in, for supporting them, and making sure that their needs were met. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Councilman Winston.
Yes, thank you so much. Just one question. So, from what I've understood was, this was done in order to repair the alleys. That being stated, do we have a timeline or?
That was my statement. My commitment is to come back with the specific timeline. I don't have it directly in front of me, and I don't want to misquote. So I would rather get that information than make sure we communicate that information.
Yeah, no,
very clearly.
I guess I didn't word that correctly. Thank you so much. I guess for the constituents' sake, it would be a lot easier to explain this if we started breaking ground on the alleys. Clearly, I don't struggle on 31. However, it is concerning to me. I've met 3 individuals today, very passionate. I want to say thank you again for coming out. And I can't imagine my grandmother having to do that. It's just tough. I commend you for speaking to the necessities of what we need for our alleyways. But we got to hire some more young folks to run up the stairs to get some trash cans. I think we'd be good for our work one individual.
There we go.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
I know our me and Newsom's area, our pickup day is Wednesday. So are you telling us today that if folks don't have their garbage cans in the front of the home, that their garbage will not be picked up?
So again, our commitment has been picking up trash. If we notice something, we still have them doing it. But as we begin that work, that was our goal, was to try to make sure the trucks are not blocking the alleys when we start doing that work. So again, our commitment has always been picking up trash. If you go back and read the advertisement that was sent out via mail, as well as put out via everything, the internet, things of that sort, this doesn't start till July. This was not set to be starting in July. It's to try to work through any of the concerns that we got back. So as of tomorrow, if your trash is going to be picked up, it'll still be picked up in the alley.
Because the reason why I say that, Madam President, because I know her alley, my alley, there are no issues regarding breaking and all of that, and there's several alleys. Halliburton, I know his is clear and things like that, so I'm hoping, as Kenneth said, there would be some differentiation between alleys that actually don't need to be repaired as compared to those that can be repaired, and then there could be like some kind of schedule or in shifts or in modules that can happen. So you all will figure it out.
Oh yeah, I'll go back and again, and I'll make sure that I can get with the exact timeline from the team and kind of work with making sure we can communicate that.
Madam President,
Councilman Halliburton.
thank you, Chief. I think a better concern is this going to be permanent or temporary?
Well, our goal was not to, at this time, make anything permanent. Just like when we took on trash, it was, again, one of those things that we're trying to do what we think is in the best interest of the citizen. Every decision we make is always in the best interest of the citizen. So we were trying to work through it. Again, it was no problem for the 60% of of the city that already does it, but there's about 40%, 30 to 40% that currently have alleys in the Glen Park and Forest Man area that we need to work through. But to going back to Councilman Washington's comment in regards to nothing wrong with the alleys, some of those alleys still have drainage issues. So just because you don't have a crack in your concrete doesn't mean that there's not any GSD work that needs to be done. So again, that's why I want to go back and get that exact information, get it back to you. I never want to misquote and then have to rescind that statement that I made.
Any other questions? No? Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Jimenez. Okay, if we don't have any other, I'll make a motion. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.